Alrighty. Let's get into this. Check this out. Alright. Looks good. So I was in the middle of working on this door thing yesterday. And then after the door, I need to build a system where when you come into the room, any of the doors in the room close, and they only open when you kill all the enemies. And then similarly, you might even do this before, is having switches that will unlock particular doors. By unlock, I mean open. So I think yesterday we got doors kind of working. And they close, they open, they close, they open. I like this door. It's kind of weird it being an animation and not like moving objects or something. Oh, it needs a sound. It needs sounds. Still not used to the new controls. I've got it mapped to spacebar. I don't know why it's so fun to play with. It's fun to play with your toys that you make. Some games are just big toys. So I'll make a list here. We need to do door sounds, and then we could do switches and then enemies. And after that, I should have everything I need to build the first few rooms. Let's see what the sounds are. I think it's that switch sound. And for some reason, the explosion sound. I don't know if I have those. Break. Oh, these are probably them. They're named appropriately. Let's see. It's playing through the other speakers. Okay, that's close. I think that's right. Seems different than the switch sound, but maybe not. Yeah, that's the open sound. Alright, so we'll just move those in here. Well, they're already there. Huh. Oh, you know, I should change the speed. I think they're it seems pretty similar to the speed that I had. Okay, sounds. I think I want to do this with my new approach. The idea was to create, only when it's not a 3D sound, to create the audio sources under sounds, because if there's more than one, like a coin, you can ensure that there's only one playing at a time. It kind of centralizes the sounds too. And then what? This. Door. So assign the scripts folder again. I guess here? Although, because we're in 3D and you can't see the whole room, it actually might be better for it to be 3D positional sound. So you can be like, oh, the door opened to my left. All right. So do things the old way. Ah, that broke my prefab. Stupid that it does that. Grumble. Well, whatever, we don't need a prefab for that. Let's see. Oh my god. Alright, so our door is an audio source. Play and awake now. Spatial blend, 3D. But no fucking Doppler. This though. This will have to tweak, I think. Is there any indicator of what that size would be? Max distance. I mean, it's like per room, so maybe the max distance is the size of a room. It's the size of a room. Eight, 3, 6, 12, 13, 100? Linear. We'll try it. We'll do like 120. Yeah, and then the door needs those clips. Okay. Let's see if we can tell where the door is. I think my things are... This is the right side. Yeah, so it should be that way. Oh, it's playing both sounds. Maybe it should have been something like 500. 400. That's weird. I think this speaker's busted because it's really quiet. Yeah. Well, it is hard to tell if it's really positional. Okay, yeah. But there isn't like a big difference. Maybe 300. That's probably good. And my code was playing close for both. Last check. I feel like that should be faster though. I guess it's the sounds. The closed sound is too short for the speed. The open sound is kind of perfect. Such a weird problem to not be able to see the next room and implement that. This is, I think, a pretty good solution though. What would 30 look like? It's better. I'll do 30. And let's see. You know what I'm going to do on awake? Render enabled false. So that way you don't see that. Okay, door sounds. Now, linking switches. We have a switch prefab somewhere. Mm-hmm. Put a switch there. So that's our switch. that would unlock the door. It's a pretty sensitive switch. Okay. So switches are one-time thing. Let's see. Oh, I guess I should also do the when you enter a room, it closes the door. So somehow like the link doors to the room. Rooms have a bounding box. How do I use this box collider? I can easily send a trigger to send a message to something, but how do we link those things up? I don't really want to have to manually link a door to a room. Maybe doors aren't tiles. Maybe they're placed as tiles and they have to be dragged to the room as a child. This corridor has a box collider. I suppose corridors could find objects in its bounding box. But like iterate over all of them? I don't think corridor does anything yet. Okay, so we could try that. Game object find. We only do it once. Find objects of type. Door. And then what? Box collider. Is there a way to then go bounds, contains? I guess contains. What else can it be? Just a point, all right. So object transform position. I guess we'll just print it out. So hopefully this should get the door. Door 2. Where's the other door? I guess this is the other door. What a fun game. I love shooting boxes. It's interesting to think how different this game will be, even though it'll be a literal translation of the original indie game Legend. The exact game, exact rules, exact rooms, but in first person. It will feel like a different game. Might not be a good game, but what was I doing? Okay, so our doors are connected. I don't know how format that'll be. We'll have to just leave that. I guess we need a room. guess public list of doors. In this case, there's different doors. Oh no, they're both opened. I guess a room can have like a global locked state that is default to locked. If you enter a room that's locked, it will close the doors until it's unlocked. Okay. So. Interesting. I didn't hear the door close, but it did close. I don't think there's a... I can just go right through. Well, that's funny. Because I can just come back in, it will close again. Oh, I didn't hear that sound because the other sound was just louder. Yeah. That's interesting. Because I don't actually want to, like, I should be inside by the time it closes. It's a little different than... Hmm. Enter only happens once. I could do stay, but stay is going to happen every time. There's no way. How can I know when I'm fully in? Trigger based on... Hmm. every object and see if the player's in bounds. It just seems so stupid. Alternatively, I could always do on enter. If the player has a room reference and trigger enter for a room sets that reference, but if the reference was null before, then it will call room enter. That could work. Current room. I need to remember that this is specifically for the player, so. Which I think corridor needs as well. On trigger enter, player main current room is what, this? I guess. If player main current room is null, then we'll call room enter. That should do it. And now the player has a reference to the current room that they're in. Door's closed. Just make the door blocking now. So I guess put a collider on it. Right? And then the door would just enable and disable it, right? I guess it could be open right before the last frame finishes. Whereas here, and because the door is open by the start, the collider should also be disabled. Okay. Now I'm not gonna have any way to get out of this room. Uh-oh. Can't go, can't get in. If only there was a way to open this door. And there isn't. So now we can finally link the switch. How the fuck do we do that? I guess the switch could. Switch could get the room reference. By default, unlock all doors in the room or open all doors. But optionally have a name, so if we wanted to, we could name this door. I don't know if that would hold. We can try it. I don't think I'll find out till later, because the idea is this tile editor could, I mean, only if you tell it to. It could recreate everything, and if it were to do that, I think it would, I guess we can try it. Let's call this door the fun door. Now, if we recreate, which I did and also made that over there. I don't know what's going on. Why is there a door out there? Can't get off this door. Where did this door come from? Apparently it thinks I wanted a door out there. In what? Special? Alright. Now we'll check this door out. Nope. This door. This door. Door. So we lose the name. Come on, tile ed. Is there some way you could add metadata to a tile that's special? You can always add the door not as a tile. I also don't want to like say, oh, well, we'll never create it, because there could be an error or some corruption where it's like, oh, I have to recreate it or something. I don't want to have to like, oh, go through every custom named door and like write them down and then recreate and go find them again. Could do it by corridor, because corridors are not tiles, they're specific to rooms. But doors aren't always in corridors. Maybe those can be special. I might be overthinking it in the fact that the game doesn't have direct links. I mean, I guess I could go open a Windows computer and look at the game maker, but there's one room in the first few rooms where there's 2 switches and 2 doors, and I'm pretty sure they're linked to each other, and it's not like, oh, there's 2 switches, you have to flip them both in order for any of the doors to open or something like that. Like a global, what do you call that, semaphore for a room. Well, let's see. It's the only metadata. Map tools, props. I'm not entirely sure what the difference between props and tiles are, but oh, maybe that was it. Size, Y, position. No other metadata though, that's... Oh, Alt? Alt was rotate? I was wondering about that the other day. Fuck it. If there is a direct link to a specific door, which I think is not that common, I will move it out of the tiles and put it into the room. That way it will have a persistent thing outside of the tile system, and yeah. So for now, actually everything's the same. Yeah, same plan as before. Make this thing have a determine its room. What is that parent thing? Find the fuck was it? What did that? Corridor. Find objects. No? Get component. Get component in parent. And then oh, this has the same problem. This switch can't have custom properties. It would have to be moved into the room. So I guess same as the door. Okay, switch. String door name. So I don't know what else switches do in the game. I can't remember. I think they're mostly door things, but we'll fix that when we come to it. If no, for each door in room doors, door open. But if door name is not empty, is it empty or is it null when you don't define it? I guess we'll do if door name not empty and door name equals door name. No, this has to be separate. Then door open. And if door name is not, or if door name is empty, then just open all the doors. So by default, this should open that door. magically without even linking them up because they're in the same room. Nope, it did not work. What's the problem? Oh! It's not, the room is not apparent. Not a parent, but a parent. The room is not parented to the switch because it's a tile thing, unlike the corridor. So, check bounding? This is weird because it's the opposite. Maybe switches do have to live in the room, under the room. I guess it's a good time to try that theory, that we could even do that. So, yeah. The idea is I would try and get into that room, maybe? I don't think I can... duplicate, maybe? I guess I'll drag it. The problem is, then I have to delete it in the tile. Come on. This is the worst. Right? And I guess it's helpful that the position is there, but so right, if we disable it, there's a missing tile there. Our tile editor is like, I don't know what's going on. We can delete the tile that's not there anymore. So that if we were to recreate, it would still not be there, but this would be there. Now it's has a room as a parent. So it should work now. It worked. Ah, shit. I guess it should also unlock the room, right? So basically we want to do something totally different if the door name is set. So why don't we just do that? So in this case, yeah, we just I'm getting confused. Right. But also we set room locked equals false. So the next time I come into the room, it will not be locked, the door will not close. Cool. No way to open that door. All right, so that's another item on the list. Oh, we're almost done. Door lock until enemies killed. So basically it's the same. Maybe it should be a room function to open all the doors. Right? Like void unlock, which will both do locked equals false, and then iterate over all the doors and open them. So switch is simplified. It's just like room, send message, unlock. Right. So this way I can just, when you kill all the enemies, however I determine you've killed all the enemies, that it can just send that message to the room. So let's see that this works. Still works, okay. So how do we know when all enemies are killed? Could be a counter. Yeah, a room could just have a counter, like how many enemies. How many enemies are needed to be killed in order to unlock the room. And then whenever an enemy dies, it would use the player's reference to get the current room and increment a counter. It's one way. Yeah, it's actually one. I'm just thinking of all the things that is a huge limitation of this tile editor, that you can't have custom metadata for a tile or a prop like that. It's like any game, you know, that's based on tiles, there's going to be custom properties. And in this case, custom properties are just attributes on whatever components, but the tile editor doesn't seem to do anything to try and maintain those across recreating. And I don't trust not being able to ever, I don't know if there's some case where I'm going to have to recreate, and that would basically wipe any of that custom data. Seems like I'll have to do a lot of things where I move the tile under the room object. Anyway, what was I thinking? Okay, so the room can have that persistence. The reason why I was thinking of that was because I was thinking of the enemy spawners, which I guess can also be under the room, because those are obviously like customizable with waves or how many enemies they spawn. So I think I'm going to do that dumb brute force thing. So the room has a counter of enemies the player has killed in the room, and when an enemy dies, it increments a counter. Okay, let's set that up. We'll do it without spawners first. Int let's see. Enemies needed. And enemies killed. I guess we'll do enemy killed, so we can just send it as a message where we would increment enemies killed, and then if enemies killed equals enemies needed, enemies killer. We should also check if enemies needed is just 0, then we'll just get out of here because we'll just ignore that. If enemies needed, then we will call unlock. So then you have an enemy, apparently. It dies on bullet hit. Simple enough. I guess we can just do player main current room send message enemy killed. That might be it. So in here, you would set the room. Nope. Set this room. Enemies needed to do 4. And I guess put some enemies in there. and see which ones are active. I can do that next. Let's make sure this works. On trigger enter. Oh, this is interesting though. On trigger enter, how do we know that they're coming into a room or leaving? Because when you leave a room, you should probably also deactivate them. Well, our player's reference to the current room is the room that we were just in. So if you go into the corridor, shit. How big is the corridor? Okay, so there's 2 corridors. Really, it should be this corridor that things get activated or deactivated for this room. I guess we can tell the direction by what the current room is. The current room was, if I'm going this way, then the current room will be this room, so whatever this corridor is connected to. Or rather, to say that the current room is not the room that this corridor is connected to. Is that enough? No, because when I'm going this way, oh no, I can put it on this. So when I enter this corridor and my current room is not this room, then I'm going into it and I would activate everything. And I guess this corridor can also track leaving by doing exit and not being inbounds. So basically I want to just kind of send some messages, I think, and do the logic in the room. On trigger enter. Again, this is only for the player. If player main current room is not the room for this corridor, then room send message on room pre-enter. Is basically what I want to do. And then on exit, if we could do on room exit. So if I exit this and I'm in the room, then send message on render. If I exit, otherwise send message on room exit. Like I'm still in the room if I'm in that corridor attached to a room. And on room pre-enter is specifically before you're inside the room. Yeah, you get it. So now, so in here I can do void on room pre-enter for each enemy and enemies set game object set active true. On room exit though, set it to false. Okay, so now I should be able to do whatever I want before I go into this room. And once I get to here, these guys will be in those positions. So if I run in the room, I should see them in those positions coming at me, but still, let's try it. So, blah, 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 blah. Da, 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 da. There shouldn't be any. They shouldn't ever come through. Because they're not active. But there they are. Now they should stay in this position if I leave the room. Shit. It's true, I need to not mess with it if it's been destroyed. And so it didn't deactivate those. Okay. Okay. Check if it's null. Seems like a weird thing to do, but okay. They should not come after me. be right where they were. If I can get them all over here and run away. They're all right there. Kill them all, the door opens into nowhere. Well, that's everything I had on my list. All right, I guess I'll just watch the thing for the rooms that I was going to do and see if there's anything I've missed. So this is that first room, and that's that second room. This is a modified version of that other third room. Should have all of these assets imported, prefabbed, and working. This is the one, I even have that shadow, so that would be an inner door, and it would be tied to a specific switch. Which I believe was that one. That switch, second switch was for the first door. And then this room. And that's all I'm gonna do for the demo. So you kill all these, doors open, and you get the data key. And that'll be the end of the demo. There won't be any HUD, there won't be anything else. That should be enough to convey kind of what the game would be like in 3D. So, I'm trying to think if there's a particular room that I should prototype. It might be difficult. Seems like I have everything except I'm very curious what this one will be like, because this is obviously a very different experience. So maybe I should prototype this room, as well as do that double switch thing. And then I'll call it a night for this. I'm gonna actually build all the levels separately, not stream it, but I'll record it just to time lapse it, so it's kind of a nice smooth video of that being put together. I guess I have to sort of map out this room. So I'll do that. And this is a room that has it's actually the same as this one. Yeah. I don't know how I'm gonna be naming these, but So you come in here and go through all the stuff and then come out here, so. Let's see. And it's mostly those tiles, so I'll just fill the room with those. This is a little preview of how I'd be building out all the rooms. Eh. Can I overwrite? Okay, cool. So, is that all the way to the bottom? Is that the last one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, maybe it wasn't the bottom. How is this off? Huh. Did I do something stupid? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11. They're not square. How did I miss that? Fuck. Gonna have to create different meshes for. Man, I thought I could do solid wall and door wall, but now I have to do solid wall and door wall for vertical and horizontal. Why did it feel like these were okay? I guess it's, you wouldn't notice like an extra row here if I was going like center and corners. And it's 2. So if I go to the first room, there should be 3 of these small tiles each in this area, and then 2 here. Yep, 3 and then 2. Wow. Well, I don't want to have to redesign everything, so I'm going to have to resize those, make different meshes, which means doing different textures. Well, I mean, I can still test this room. I can just fill those extra. Right. And still put everything mostly where they are, just because this door is here instead of there. It doesn't matter too much. And then, okay, so that's, I'll have to go and fix wall room sizes. I don't know if I'm gonna, maybe I'll stream that, I don't know. I mean, we might as well stream everything, but I'm just like, it seems like such a pain. I don't really know what I'm doing. It seems like it could be boring, but probably no more boring than this. So, what did we decide? We have to put switches in their rooms? Whoops. And then this is the other kind of weird one in 3D. is a door floating right there. It's gonna look weird. Okay. And then, okay, I guess let's see what this is like without the darkness, and then I'll add the darkness, and then I'll hook things up. Here we go. Right, so it's weird. You're like, okay, you can't quite see, which is kind of important. You can't see like how you would get through this maze, but you can kind of see other parts. So I might go like this, get to this door, which I can just walk through, and trying to think of how I might. I wonder if I could put a wall corner there, and then it would look kind of interesting, like on top of that mesh, and it might look okay. I'll play with that idea. What? On trigger enter? Oh, because it's not moved to the room. Yeah. I think so. I think this is kind of what I expected. And then we'll try some stuff. Let's try. Oh, I don't have the walls, or do I? No, I don't. Oh, I do. So, see, something like that. Maybe not there, but like there. The colors match, so it sort of works. You know? Or I could do. Like replace like layer 2 of these like that, and it would be a big kind of pillar there. That'd probably look better than something like that, right? Kind of a weird hack, but That works. I mean, I could even put those walls here just to emulate the proper dimensions of the room. Why not? It's a little different. Because, oh no, yeah, that would be right. Sneaky. So it doesn't go all the way to the ceiling, but it's like a solid wall. And then I need to move these in, these switches, which I'm not sure. Best way to do that. It's like I want everything I want to drag to be below this so that I can more easily get to. And I should put these enemies in that room. Oh, music just got creepy. Not that it wasn't creepy before, but there's that one. And this one. So this one unlocks the room. So I'm gonna unlock that. And then that one in the corner unlocks this door. And so both of these need to exist outside of the tile system. And then I actually don't know what will happen if I should recreate them, so I should delete them, right? That one was on the special layer, and then these two are on the floor. And then, in theory, and I actually can test this linking things up. This switch linked to, I don't know, call it pre-door. Pre-door. Wait, what's the door? Oh, because it's a shit. Because it's I know what I did wrong here. But going longer than I thought. I need to take a break. So I'll be back. And a box collider. And this is also the same. Cool, now it's a door. Or the prefab for it is a door, which means I need to revert. Which of course renamed it pre-door. What else? I guess the switches should work. Let me try the switches. Doors close. That door didn't close. Why not? Because I entered the room. Something specific to corridors. I guess I need to do this. In the room as well for any doors in there. We can move on from the ambient. Cool. That door shut. So don't want this one. No, actually I did want the other one. So I will be able to see. Okay, but that one is still locked, right? Nope. Right. Because special door. Unlock is unlocking all the doors. I guess I could just say if its name is not the default name. Wait, can I do name? Seems like should be higher, but whatever. That one opened. That one's still closed. This one should open it. I heard it open. Boop. So now darkness. Which I'm pretty sure is already set up. I just have to enable it. Darkness. There's a good way to do that in the code yet. Okay. Let's see, player. Public, so I can just do darkness active or not. So the room needs darkness. Dark, false. That should do it. I hope. Here we go. Oh, the room's not set for darkness. But I can do that. Just watch. This one, right? So kind of. Mostly works. These, I don't know if you can see it on the stream, but you can get right to about here. You can actually see into the room quite a bit. And if darkness is enabled, I'm not sure that that's a good thing. Because it could give away stuff, but it also just seems like a bug, right? So, but I mean, I guess this is a demo and I can get away with that. So, this is kind of the maze-like experience of the 2D version, right? You can see that door open. And you're like, oh, fuck that door. Yeah. All right. I think just walk into any other room. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, because there was no room here for it to check, so it was thinking I was actually in the same room. That shouldn't happen normally if there's actually a room attached, so. This works out pretty well. I like this. You know? And besides this bug. But, you know what I could do? Maybe add an extra layer of fog if it's a dark room. But yeah, can't see anything but immediately around you. I think it works pretty well. So now, biggest thing is fixing the room sizes. And I'll have to do that before I can build out all the levels. I mean, I've already built out some of them here. And this bothers me too. Look how far you can get. Oh. Can you go here? Ooh. Tricky. I mean, I could change it to do on trigger on stay and just check if it's dark, then make sure that that's enabled, and then you can't get into these weird states where you can kind of go out and then back in. Also, there's that, but I don't think that's a big deal. Leaving the room though, it's kind of weird, right? I mean, if you just move really fast, it's not really a problem. I think it's hitting my darkness though. Eeh. It's not great. Well, you know, it's pretty good, right? Not I think having like solid black that is removed at the same time that darkness is enabled will fix it. It only applies to dark rooms. And then I guess just doing a on trigger stay to just ensure that it's always enabled in here. It doesn't seem to be a problem of it being enabled outside of the room. So that's good. And I'm not sure how much of a problem this is. Is this a problem? Boop. could just build it into a prefab. So any room that is dark, I drag the prefab in. Or corridors. Is the first one always the closest? Because I'm thinking I could just programmatically set the alpha to that one. Right. It's currently 64 when it could be 255. Let's try it. If dark. Corridor. Can I do like find children? Components in children. And then I can do corridor, transform, get child 0. Fog layer. Fog layer. Dot. Get component. Sprite renderer. Ugh. Wait. White? Oh, the sprite's black. This texture is black. Okay. Color white. Am I gonna set the alpha? Problem is it needs dynamically. Now undo this when you get to pre-enter. So good. Okay, so I guess I'll refactor. Did I close it? Oops. Kind of annoying. And especially because I can't use the switch again, it's definitely annoying. So my idea is to have a list of corridors. And then a corridor, when it starts up, it's going to say room, add corridors, add this. So now as a reference to the corridor, I can put these on the corridor, which makes sense that they're both public. And we don't have to say corridor. We'll have to do this loop outside of this, but in theory, I guess we don't actually know if corridors has been set yet at the start. I suppose the corridor can take care of that. If room is dark, block visibility. For each corridor and corridor. The problem with this is I think it works. I think that's done. So, besides that other weird bug where it reset the doors. Only happens once. So now if I were to like unlock this one first, I wouldn't accidentally reset from going through here. I wonder how many rooms I could get away with this fake fake size thing. because most rooms are not, they're only dependent on their specific dimensions if the whole room is filled up, like this room is. In all the other cases, like these rooms, it's all relative. Like there's stuff in the corner, stuff in the center, you know, even stuff on the sides. You don't really notice if there's like an extra thing here. I can only imagine certain, you know, maybe certain puzzles, you know, are dependent on the room being a certain size. But, yeah, it's possible I could get away with not resizing the rooms. Keeping them square. This is a little weird. You might think that there's like a hidden area over there, though. I guess I'll sleep on it. Everything else is done, though. Ready to make all the levels. Good. I don't understand the frame rate stuff. Imagine I can optimize a lot of the meshes that the tiles. The tile meshes, because you can group them and you can mark them static, which I think should give you a little tiny boost. There's a lot of them. But we'll see. So I guess I'm done for today. Thanks for watching.